guys, today I'll be giving you my top 10 rides at Seabreeze. This is my home park. I go here well over 20 times a year, especially now that I work here. I am extremely familiar with all these rides, probably more familiar than pretty much anyone on the planet with these rides. I've gotten probably over 1,000 lifetime rides on Jackrabbit, probably over 500 on Whirlwind, and a ton of others. So with that being said, let's go right into the list. Coming in at number 10 is Tilt-A-Whirl. This ride, like many at Seabreeze, is a lot more fun if you know how to ride it, and I know how to ride every ride at Seabreeze to make them as intense as possible. Basically, you're going to want to pull the restraint to whichever side the car is actually moving, and that's going to really get you spinning around. You're also going to want to lean to the side that the car is moving, and if you do this, you should get a few pretty good spins where you really feel the G's. But if not, it's a pretty tame experience, but it's definitely worth riding if you have time at Seabreeze, just to see if you could get those few spins. Coming in at number 9 is Sea Dragon. This one used to be top 5 for me. Now with newer rides and newer tastes, it's fallen off a bit, but it's still definitely fun. You get some good floater airtime on those max swings. It's nothing crazy. I used to think it was like ejector or something. I don't know what I was thinking back in the day, but it's still fun airtime. If you're in the middle, it's pretty tame. It's pretty much a kiddie ride, but if you're on the ends, you definitely get some good forces, so it's definitely worth riding in the ends. Coming in at number 8 is Time Machine. This is the second newest ride here. I followed the construction for this as well as another ride we'll get to later, and it's fun. It's definitely nothing special. These Miamis are fun but not great rides. You get some decent laterals and even a little smidge of airtime. It does have some really cool theming on it, and the lighting package is great, but other than that, it's an okay ride. It's passable for Seabreeze. Coming in at number 7 is Teacups. Now, I will not be including Balloon Race on this list, because that one takes a lot of effort to really get going. You're pretty much sweating after a couple rides on that, whereas Teacups, I could marathon that. My arms really wouldn't get too tired, because yeah, you can let that thing rip. It's just a basic teacup ride, which is why it doesn't rank any higher. It's not a tip top or anything like that, but you can still really get some good spinning on this. I mean, you've seen a few shorts from my channel where, oh my god, I get that thing going so fast, and I've even gotten it a bit faster than that. It's actually insane to like spin as fast as possible on those. It's only about the positive G's and the centripetal force, but you know what, if you're good at teacups, you can get some amazing forces on them. Coming in at number 6 is Bobsleds, the first of 3 coasters on this list. This one's a very interesting one. Obviously, if you know the history, you know it's a very weird ride, first ever hybrid conversion, and you know what? It's okay. It's a 5 out of 10 coaster, it really is. There's a couple moments of airtime, there's a couple weak moments of laterals, there's one in particular that's kinda strong towards the middle before that double helix, but it's nothing special. It's pretty much the definition of an average coaster. For some reason, it ran a bit slower this past year than in former years, but Bobsleds is still one for the history books. Coming in at number 5 is Seabreeze's newest ride, and this is Windstars. On paper, this shouldn't make the list unless you know how to ride it, and this ride I feel like has such a big learning curve. Honestly, maybe as big of a learning curve as Flyers. I know I really miss Flyers. Those would have ranked number 2 on this list if they still existed. But this ride's fun, it's better for the park, and most importantly, they don't have to worry about me snapping the cables all the time. Because yeah, that's the big reason why that thing closed down is maintenance. But this ride shouldn't have that issue too much. This ride is just a slightly better Dumbo ride if you don't know what you're doing in your GP. But if you're someone like me who knows this ride very well, you know how to 1, get it swinging a lot, and 2, and most importantly, get little pops of airtime every time you raise it up. I haven't done Kangaroo, but from what I hear, if you're good at Windstars, the airtime pops sort of feel similar to that, and Kangaroo's a legendary flat ride. Every Thuzy loves it. So if you know what to do on these, you can get some decent pops of airtime that will really make it one of the best rides in the park. Coming in at number 4 is Screamin' Eagle. Now, I know I really didn't like this ride before this year, but I happened to get a lot of rides on it this year. It just so happens that it usually has one of the shorter lines in the park, and it's really convenient for me right when I get out of work. So my rides on it this year have been really good. The restraints don't kill me like they used to. I've learned how to breathe with them, how to get room with them, and how to get room throughout the ride, so I can really appreciate the hang time. And man, this ride's got some good hang time, especially if you're in the middle. And I know this is a trick. They want you to go for the ends for the most extreme experience. No, you want to sit in the dead center, because the hang time on those slow rotations is insane. You hang there for what seems like forever. It's not powerful hang time. No Zamperla Hawk has powerful hang time like an RMC or an Intamin or something would, but these rides are still really fun. You don't get too many positives on the downswings, but I think the wind in your face and the hang time alone make up for it. Now we're in the top 3. Coming in at number 3 is Log Flume. This ride, oh my god, it's so weird, but it's so good. I wanted to put this in number 2, but I just couldn't. But this ride's amazing. This ride is very scenic, going right over the water, right next to the trees, right next to Jackrabbit and the train. It's very nice. The transitions in the main Log Flume part of the ride are very jank. You get thrown around a good bit during them. It's really fun. But of course, the star of the show is the drop. If you've been on this ride, you know there's something special about this drop. I would say this drop is better than any single moment on Jackrabbit, for sure. You have no restraints and a 55-degree angle. If you're in the back, you're actually going to get floater airtime on this, and it's low-key kind of scary with no restraint. You can feel your whole body lifting out of the log, and it's just greatness. It's one of the best elements on any non-coaster. And then you hit the splashdown, you get just the perfect amount of wetness. You're a bit wet, you're misted off, you're ready for the rest of your hot summer day, but it's definitely not going to ruin your clothes for the rest of the day. This is a must-do when you're here. Coming in at number 2 is Jackrabbit. This is my most ridden coaster ever. I don't know exactly how many rides I have on it, but like I said at the start of this, I would be surprised if it's under 1,000. I've been on this so many times, hundreds of times each season, and it's a great ride. It's in my top 100. I don't think it's anything top 50 worthy. You do have some really good airtime moments, including an ejector pop going into that first turnaround in the front. This ride is absolutely a front row ride. You cannot go in the back on this thing. There's one moment that's decent in the back, but other than that, all the airtime moments are in the front. There's no positives or really good laterals or anything like that, so you really want to experience that great airtime that the front offers. There's a few other good spots of it besides that turnaround, but this ride's just pure fun. You've got a great setting, and overall, I can see why a lot of people think this is the best ride in the park, but for me, there's a clear answer for what's the best ride in the park, and that would be Whirlwind, the 2004 Mauer Spinner. If you've seen my top 50 coasters, you know this actually made the list. Over rides like Diamondback, Behemoth, Thunderhead. I mean, this thing is legit. It is actually an insane coaster. First of all, you have a top 5 view on any coaster, and I consider myself very lucky to get to see that view hundreds of times a year. This ride is a must ride at sunset. The drop is amazing, but most importantly, the middle of the ride is absolutely berserk if you know how to get this thing spinning. If you're offset and you know how to lean into the turns to get it really spinning, you are in for some lateral ejector airtime that you can't predict. You don't know when it's going to happen, but you know it's going to happen if you're spinning like that, and it's absurd. You have no sense of direction unless you've been on it hundreds and hundreds of times like me, and even then, I'm just flying all around. This thing is merciless when it wants to be, and the ending in particular is crazy because, like I said in my Laugh Track review, the endings to this Steel Dragon and Laugh Track are all different. Laugh Track is very boring, just like a straight shot. Steel Dragon has a little bit of banking, but this thing is like a full-on Stangle dive at the end. The pop going into the brakes gives some really good airtime. I mean, it's just such a good spinning coaster. The only non-extreme spinning coasters I could ever see beating this are Tornado at Bakken and Vinjas at Phantasialand. That's it. That is my top 10 rides at Seabreeze. Let me know what you guys thought of this list down in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.